Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we explore the story titled, She Cried Beside the Empty Cradle, until the silent cowboy placed his sleeping son inside. This tale, wrapped in heartache, resilience, and unexpected love, unfolds like a classic Western drama where pain and healing meet in the quiet corners of a lonely homestead. From the outside, the world of this story is rugged and harsh, built against white skies, weathered fences, and an empty cradle that symbolizes a future once thought lost. The exterior tells us about endurance, isolation, and the strength it takes to carry grief alone. The silent cowboy enters this world not with words but with action, carrying his sleeping son into a space where sorrow once dominated, turning emptiness into hope. The imagery of weather-beaten barns, dust-covered plains, and the quiet cry of a woman shows us how much the land mirrors the hearts that live on it. Every fence post, every shadow cast across the empty yard, reminds us of loss and yet also hints at a possible beginning. The interior of the home is modest. A wooden cabin with creaking floors, shelves lined with chipped dishes, and the faint scent of dried lavender tucked in a jar. The cradle, carved from oak, sits quietly in the corner of the room, its stillness echoing the silence of grief. Inside, everything feels worn but cared for, a place where memories linger even when voices are absent. Performance in this story is not measured in speed or efficiency but in emotional endurance. The woman, burdened by grief, performs her days with heavy silence, each task done with trembling hands. Her performance is survival itself, carrying water, tending to livestock, lighting a fire in the hearth despite the emptiness that shadows her heart. Then comes the cowboy, a figure of quiet determination. He does not speak, he lets his actions reveal his depth. Carrying his son gently, setting him into the cradle, he performs an act far more powerful than words. It is a performance of healing, of sharing trust, of opening a door to the possibility of family where there was once only loss. The sleeping child, breathing softly in the cradle, becomes the silent performance of innocence and new beginnings, teaching both adults that sometimes love is not about filling silence with noise, but about allowing trust to grow naturally. Safety features in this story are not mechanical devices but emotional structures. Safety is found in the strength of the cowboy's arms as he carries his child, in the way he chooses to share what is most precious to him with someone broken. It is in the walls of the cabin, offering warmth against the cold prairie winds. It is in the cradle itself, not just a piece of furniture but a symbol of protection and belonging. Safety also lies in the silence, the kind that shields rather than isolates, allowing each character to breathe without pressure. The cowboy's stoic presence becomes a safety feature in itself, a reminder that sometimes the quiet strength of another can guard the wounded heart better than words. The unique selling points of this story are powerful. The silent cowboy embodies strength through stillness, proving that love is not always declared aloud but lived through actions. His choice to place his sleeping son into the empty cradle is more than symbolic, it is transformative. It speaks to themes of second chances, unexpected family, and the healing that arrives when least expected. The woman's grief is not dismissed but honored, and through that, the story shows a deep respect for emotional truth. Another unique point is the child himself. Innocence becomes the bridge between sorrow and renewal. Unlike many tales of romance or loss, this one does not rely on grand declarations or dramatic rescues but instead on subtle moments, gestures of trust, and the simple presence of life where emptiness once was. The story's appeal lies in its quiet power, it draws us in with emotional weight and delivers a message of hope without loud spectacle. When we consider the price of this narrative, it is not measured in currency but in emotional cost. The woman has already paid dearly through loss, her tears beside the empty cradle marking the price of love taken too soon. The cowboy, too, has sacrificed, raising a child alone in a harsh land where companionship is rare. The price they both pay is vulnerability, the risk of opening hearts again after being wounded. Yet the reward outweighs the cost. The price leads to a bond formed through silence, trust, and shared humanity. In the end, the empty cradle, once a monument to sorrow, becomes the vessel of new hope at no financial cost but at the cost of courage, risk, and the willingness to believe again in life. In conclusion, She Cried Beside the Empty Cradle, until the silent cowboy placed his sleeping son inside is a moving exploration of grief, resilience, and rebirth. From the rugged exterior landscapes to the quiet interior of a worn cabin, the setting mirrors the characters' emotions, blending sorrow and solace into one. The performances are subtle yet deeply powerful, relying not on grand speeches but on silent gestures that speak louder than words. Safety is found in trust, in the protective embrace of silence, and in the shared presence of life. The unique qualities of this story make it unforgettable: the cowboy's silence, the woman's endurance, and the child's innocent breath transform emptiness into possibility. Though the price of vulnerability is high, the story shows that the reward is greater: love, belonging, and a future reborn. It is a story that proves healing often arrives not through noise but through quiet, and that sometimes the smallest gesture, placing a child into a cradle, can rewrite an entire life.